Alright guys, welcome back. This is Crooked Leg here with Operation Hamel. This would be turn 4.4. This would be the French turn for 1914. I believe it would be summer of 1915, I believe is what we're in now. We have our purchases, our 2 tech rolls. We're going to buy 1 diplomacy roll. We're going to do it against Romania. See if we can be successful in moving Romania back to a neutral position. We're going to do a cash and carry for $4. We're going to buy 2 militia for $2 a piece, and they are militia because they're going in home country. So we're at 8, and then we're going to buy 4 infantry, which is an additional 12, so 8 plus 12 would be 20, and then our $1 spent for the diplomacy roll. So that's our $21 spent. Let's go ahead and do our 2 tech rolls. Move over here now, zoom out. Okay. Get that out of the way. Okay. Alright. So, our 2 tech rolls. You know what, we're going to do diplomacy first. Because like the last, I think every single round we've rolled low numbers for tech and then high numbers for diplomacy. So let's do diplomacy first. So Romania, we're going to try to move to stage 0. We got an 11, so that didn't help us. All right, our 2 techs. Let's do hurricane bombardment for stage 4, and then let's go ahead and do gas for stage 2. So hurricane bombardment is a 1. Should have rolled diplomacy first, second. Okay, and let's do, like I said, we already, so that was hurricane bombardment, and then gas is a 6. Don't remember what gas is. It's a 6. Okay, so we'll move to stage 2 for gas. So we're in chlorine. Okay. So the French moved to stage 2 for chlorine gas, trailing the Germans, pushing out of phosgen. Let's get into our combat moves. We do have 2. Our first combat move is going to be over here in Belgium. We're going to take the 7 artillery and do an attrition attack from Picardy into Belgium. So that'll be a simple roll of 7 dice at once, see if we get a hit. And then our other attack or combat move, zoom out just a little bit here, rolling in the shot. We're going to move our entire fleet here in M4 through M6 and into M5. Italy is now aligned to France, and as a result, the minefield does not impact us, to my understanding. So we will move the 3 coastal subs, the dreadnought, the 2 pre-dreadnoughts, the 2 cruisers, and the 2 destroyers all to M6 and then to M5. The major dockyard in Malta will give us the movement bonus we need to get there. So we'll be attacking the fleet in M5 for the Austro-Hungarians, which is a transport, 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 2 pre-dreadnoughts, and a dreadnought. So those will be our only 2 combat moves. No other combat this round. So let's go ahead and do the attrition attack. And then after we do that, then I'll pull the ships and we'll roll for the ships. So let's zoom back out. Okay. Camera just angled right. Okay. All right. So we're all set there. So we'll have 7 at 1s. So let's do the first 4. hits. No joys there. And the final 3 at once. Maybe we got 1 hit. The other 2 missed. So our luck continues. Alright, so we're going to reduce the Germans by 1 infantry. So I believe they're down to 15 infantry, but I could be wrong. So correct me if that is incorrect, Dan. I've got you at 15 infantry now instead of 16 because of that casualty. Okay. Alright, so that's done. Now let's go ahead and pull the ships off. So H is the defender. So I'll have 2 pre-dreads at 7s, and then the dreadnought at 8. Transport doesn't do anything. And 2 torpedo boat destroyers at 4s. Then, the attacking side, we've got our 3 coastal subs, our 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 2 cruisers, 2 pre-dreads, and the dreadnought. So let's get those units over here. This isn't a winter battle, so we'll go for the full 3 rounds instead of 2 like it normally is in winter. So our coastal subs will have first strike at 2. Okay. All right. Here we go. So 3 coastal subs at 2s. No hits on the surprise or first strikes, so that's good for them. Then the 2 torpedo boat destroyers, 6 and an 8, so they both miss. 2 cruisers, there's 1 hit, so we're at 1. Okay, and the 2 pre-dreadnoughts at 7s. There's a 6, and that's a 7. That's 2 hits. So we're up to 3. And then the dreadnought at an 8. That's another hit at a 7. Okay, so we get 4 hits in total. None of them were first strikes, so we don't have to worry about that. I was instructed to damage the dreadnought. So he'll move down to stage 7, so I'll put him on his side, so I remember that. Then do the 2 torpedo boat destroyers, and then a dread. So that's the 4 hits, so he'll have a pre-dreadnought and a dreadnought damaged, so 2 at 7s on the next round. So let's roll for him for this round. So 2 torpedo boat destroyers at 4s. So there's 1 hit. So let's give him a 1 there. Okay, and 2 at 7s. Oh, 1 didn't go. Alright, 2 5s. So it's 2 hits. So it goes up to 3. And then the dreadnought at an 8. That's another hit. Okay, so we got 4 hits as well. So, lucky dice for you, Dan. Alright, so we have 4 casualties. We'll take the 3 coastal subs and a torpedo boat destroyer. So let those off to the side as casualties. And he's got his casualties. Alright, so he's got 2 at 7s is all he's got defending this round. Against 1 torpedo boat destroyer, 2 cruisers, 2 pre-dreads, and a dreadnought. Alright. So here's the torpedo boat destroyer for round 2. 4 misses with a 9. 2 cruisers at 6s. There's 1 hit. Okay. Then 2 at 7s. Pre-dreads. There's another hit. that was all we needed. It's just the two, and then we'll do the dreadnought. And there's another hit. So 3 in total. Okay. Now we'll return fire. 2 at 7s. Then he got 2 more hits. Alright. We will, I guess we'll take a torpedo destroyer and we'll damage the dreadnought for the round. Okay. That's what we'll do. Okay. So his transport is destroyed since we successfully took the sea zone. Right. So we cleared M5. We get a damage piece here. Okay. There's the dreadnought. And we have our 2 cruisers and 2 pre-dreadnoughts. Okay. Alright, so that's it for combat moves. Let's go into non-combat. We do have a couple. So our first non-combat move is going to be over here in the Indian Ocean. So this cruiser here in I-8 is going to move 1 to I-4 and 2 to I-5. So that one's done. Then over here, the transport in M4 is going to move 1 to northern Algeria, or not northern Algeria, to M2 and go import in northern Algeria. Then the transport in M2 that started there in port is going to pick up the cavalry. He's going to strategic naval move 1 to A44, 2 to A46, 3 to A48, 4 to A51. We will drop the cavalry. Over in the Ivory Coast. So that's done. Okay. Then we have a non-combat move here. This pre-dreadnought in A28 is going to move off of escort duty, move 1 to A29 and go import. Okay. So that's done. Then just back the camera up a little bit. The 3 infantry and the cavalry in southern France are going to move up to Lorraine. So we've now got 8 plus 3, or no, 7 plus 3, so we're at 10 infantry there, a militia, and a cavalry in Lorraine. So there's that change. And then, the other one we had is the seaplane over here in M2 is going to come off of map and he will land in Tunisia since we are aligned with the Italians. So that's done. Okay. I think that's all we've got left at this point. Yes, that's all we've got at this point. Okay. Let's do our placement of units then. They'll all be here in France. So we'll have a militia that we'll place in Lorraine, and then the other one will go to Picardy. So let me check those two out real quick. And then just start using tweezers like Ozark. I keep saying that. Okay, so that's done. And then we'll place 3 infantry. Southern France. And then we'll put the other infantry here in Paris. Want to do Paris? We'll do Aquitaine. It's all right. We'll go to Aquitaine. And then the artillery that we're building via cash and carry will go to New York City. Or just, I guess it's technically just New York. So it's in New York. And we've placed all of our other units. Let's see, so that concludes our turn. We'll do a disposition real quick, and we do have an income now of $20 instead of 21 because we gave up Tunisia down here to the Italians to align them. Our first item is that we have a cruiser here now in I-5, I think? Yeah, I-5. Then we still have our 2 infantry in Malta. Then C-Zone M5 has a damaged dreadnought, 2 pre-dreadnoughts, and 2 cruisers. Tunisia has a seaplane. Northern Algeria has an infantry and a transport still in port. We added a cavalry to the Ivory Coast over here, and there's a transport now in A50, I can't tell if that's 54 or 51. Yep, A51. So that's done. Then over here, we added 1 militia to Picardy. So Picardy now has 2 militia, 2 planes or fighters, 7 artillery, and then the 11 infantry. And then of course all the British units that are in there. And then Lorraine has 10 infantry, a cavalry, and 2 militia. Then Southern France has 3 infantry, Aquitaine has 1 infantry, and we've got 1 pre-dreadnought in port in Aquitaine that's adjacent to A29. All right, I believe that does it for our turn. We don't need to do any additional rolls to my knowledge. I believe that is it for us. So I will go ahead and turn it over now to Knights Templar and the Ottomans and see what the Turks have in store for us on this turn. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch you all next time.